That down, guys. Let's move on to this, shall we? The age of the bankable movie star is over. We've known that for a while. The last kind of remnant of that was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I would still contend, if you put Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson even in a movie that flops, I would argue that movie would have made less money had somebody else played the role other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, Black Adam ended up being what Black Adam was. But if it was anybody else other than Dwayne Johnson playing the character, it probably would have made even less. I set that all up as the framing for this news story. We've got a new movie opening this week, Red One, with some of my favorite people in movies. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans, I almost said J.K. Rowling, J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus in it. I remember we first reported on the story of them making this movie like 2.5 years ago, and I had totally forgotten about it. The movie cost $250 million. $250 million. That, hey, listen, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I didn't see any of that on the screen in the trailer. I mean, even the snowmen didn't look all that good. But, okay, $250 million. Now, that's fine. It just means they got to make a decent chunk of change in order to break this thing even. You're probably going to hope for something in the neighborhood of a 70, 80, 90 to $100 million opening. Well, that ain't happening. Because according to Variety, this thing's going to flop out of the gate. Variety's right in the headline. Dwayne Johnson's Red One targets a $30 million box office opening. That's somewhere in the neighborhood of what Fall Guy opened to and Furiosa. And we know what happened with those. Even though those are both really good movies, they both really underperformed. Variety writes this. Will Red One, a Christmas action comedy where Dwayne Johnson plays Santa's head of security, bring movie theaters a box office bounty? No. The film from Amazon MGM is targeting a $30 million to $35 million opening from 4,000 locations in its first weekend of release. Independent of tracking services are mixed, suggesting Red One could earn as little as $25 million or maybe even as high as $40 million in its debut. Ticket sales on the higher end of that range would be decent for an original holiday film. However, Red One costs $250 million. So either way, the movie will need to have positive word of mouth for a long life in theaters and justify its costs. All right, it should also be mentioned that I believe last time I checked, Red One had a 39% critic rating. Ray, if you can give me an update on that. And, you know, we talked about the first reactions that came out from them. The first 38 now? Yeah. It's gone down. We talked about the first reactions that came out about a week ago, and the first reactions weren't exactly glowing. Some of them didn't like it, but some of them said, you know what, there's some fun to be had here. But it doesn't sound like it's going to get that big word of mouth or whatever. I mean, we're going to ask the same question we asked 2.5 years ago. Who thought this should be a $250 million movie? I
think Vin Diesel's doing the budgeting over there.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to want a lot of family, so you got to raise this.
Every scene is shot on location.
Yeah.
They trained actual polar bears. It's pretty
real. It was actual real polar bears to train and talk and fight. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Yeah, I can't say I'm totally shocked by this because I'm gonna go see it, but that's only because I'm a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson guy. Like I unapologetically really am entertained by Dwayne Johnson, and I love Chris Evans. So I'm gonna go see this either way. But I'm if it wasn't for those two hooks, I'm not bothering to go see it. I have honestly, literally not talked to anybody in real life. I've had some people in the live chat say they're planning to go to see it. I have not talked to a single person in real life that says they're other than that guy.
No, even
other than him.
Let's point out, even though I am optimistic about this movie, I don't want to go see it in theaters. I want to say that I
feel like it's a bit of a backpedal for me, right?
With the family.
Yeah, I have not spoke to
before.
anybody who has said they're planning on going to see Red One.
I'm seeing a different Christmas movie. Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
The Nosferatu. The real spirit of the holiday.
That's the real spirit of the holidays.
And so I'm not surprised to hear this. Chris, you hear about this. I mean, look, there's no other way to paint this. A $30 million opening, if it gets that high even, that's a disastrous result for a movie this expensive.
That's horrible. That is truly, truly horrible. And I don't understand how this budget got here. It's just absolutely bananagrams. That being said, it is no secret that I love Christmas trash. I love it so much. I will watch any garbagey Christmas film. So I'm going to be in theater seeing this. I will be seeing like a 10 a.m. matinee.
Nice.
So I can just kind of heckle the movie to myself and no one else. But I don't understand why people keep making these huge, crazy budget movies, not thinking about the return, because that's what it feels like. I know that there are smart business people working for these companies. And yet, why are we making movies like this that have a gargantuan budget when you already kind of can tell from the story that you are presenting, this isn't going to do well? And we know this because we hear from insiders all the time. Oh, we're really not confident in this one. Oh, we are planning on leave it on streaming very quickly. That kind of thing. I need the studios to have 1, more faith in what they're creating, 2, tell better stories, and 3, just hone their budgets in. Because you could make this movie, honestly, with a shoestring budget, and I think it'd be better if it looked really just like public access-y. I think this would be better. And a lot of it does go to the actors, who I've talked about this before. I don't think someone at Dwayne Johnson's level needs that much money, frankly. I really don't. There's a bananas amount of money being spent here.
I mean, even $150 to $170 million budget still would have probably got them close to maybe a break even after marketing.
Sure.
This budget
is insane, though.
This budget is the same cost as the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, right? But there was the pandemic that he was trying to work through. Wasn't that
added a lot of cost?
50 million?
Yeah, that added a lot of cost.
Like somebody in the live chat saying they should have replaced The Rock and got John Cena. If you think that would have made $1 more, it would have made less. It would, and I say that as a big John Cena fan. I like John Cena a lot. Can't wait for Peacemaker season 2. But I mean, again, I just don't understand. I'm not even really sure who this movie's for. I'm not sure where they're targeting it. Now, look, I'm gonna go see it and hopefully I love it. But right now, not a lot of Christmas spirit I got for this one. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, The Perfect Jean. So the colder season is here, and guess what? I am living in the perfect jean. These jeans are super stretchy, soft, and totally trick people into thinking I've got my life together. And I'm telling you this because I actually love them. These are absolutely, no questions asked, my favorite jeans that I have ever owned. And yes, the folks over at The Perfect Jean are paying me to say that, but it's still absolutely true. These are my favorite jeans ever. These jeans have enough stretch to accommodate Thanksgiving dinner and are comfy enough to wear all day watching Sunday football. Plus, even though they feel like sweatpants, they look good enough to be your go-to pants for date night. And listen, the Perfect Jean isn't even just pants. They've revolutionized t-shirts as well. The Perfect Tee has just enough stretch to hide that beer belly while accentuating your arms and chest for that flawless look. My guys, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code CAMPEA at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with the promo code Campea. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them we sent you. F your khakis and get the perfect jean. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? In one of the most expensive films in years, $250 million, they're talking about maybe a $30 million opening. Are you guys planning to go see it? Do you think maybe you could turn this around? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.